Hi everyone, I'm Rishabh and welcome to Global Marketing Leaders 2025, presented to you by Pepper Content. Today I'm being joined by Somesh Surana, who is the head of Digital Business Group and Marketing at HDFC Ergo General Insurance. He has been pivotal in launching many digital-first strategies and launching campaigns like Karo Sabko Insure, which aligns with the vision of HDFC Ergo of insurance for all by 2047. Let's dive deep into his journey and insights. Thank you. Thank you, Sumesh. Thank you for taking our time to do this, and thank you for renting us out such a beautiful room. I'm from BITS Pilani, and we call this a rotunda in there. So thank you.
Oh.
I don't think we have gotten a better place to shoot till yet, right? So I think I'll start with the generic first, right? I think you have been in banking, insurance, agency background, right? And first of all, what made you go into marketing, and then how has these shaped up your experience to do what you do here today at HDFC Ergo?
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for inviting me, Rishabh. And since you're from BITS Pilani, we have a lot of people from BITS Pilani. I'll ask them to meet you, and probably they're your seniors or juniors somewhere. Regarding the office, yes, this is our new avatar of our corporate office. We recently have done this, and somewhere we wanted to make it not only more vibrant, but also which is on healthy living. So if you see in our office, you'll see a walking track, so people while doing their work can probably walk. We have treadmills here. So getting to your question in terms of how I ended up in marketing, I did my MBA and obviously specialized in marketing. Always wanted to kind of understand what are the nuances of marketing in the real world than what typically you read in the marketing gurus' books and all. And that's where I was still thinking whether I should start with an organization in a marketing as a function, or go on the other side, which is agency, and learn what goes behind when you're doing real marketing, right? And then, hence I decided to first work with an advertising agency, world's #1 advertising agency. Learned the behind the scenes of marketing, what all goes into making the communication, how it's been thought, the strategy behind that and all of that. And then I moved to marketing functions of largely have been working with BFSI, starting from banking and then moved to insurance. Over the period of time while I was doing marketing as well, somewhere people feel that marketing ends at communications or developing communications, and especially in BFSI, people feel that okay, you need to somebody who can make communication and ads is the marketing guy. But true sense of marketing is when you understand the consumer. When based on your understanding of the consumer, you can then create propositions, create communication which goes right based on the consumer insights and propositions, and then go out and sell as well. And that's the true sense of marketing function, I feel, and that's how we work. And hence I also then moved to the business side of it, where I started managing the digital business for HDFC Ergo. Earlier L&D Insurance, and then L&D Insurance was acquired by HDFC Ergo in 15-16, and hence now I manage marketing as a function for HDFC Ergo, and I also lead digital business group as the function for HDFC.
Cool. So I think thanks for that. And in your journey, one thing that stood out was your focus on BFSI, but your experience with companies which are coldly Indian, a Kotak and an HDFC Ergo, but also Barclays, right, which is a very different DNA in itself, right? How has that delta been? How has that difference been? Working at an MNC which has roots and cultures very differently shaped up than say an HDFC Ergo.
So I think both the organizations where I started my career with Ogilvy, a very different working culture and the kind of things that we used to do there. Then you rightly said moved to organization which is Kotak, and then I moved to Barclays. For me, to be honest, it really doesn't matter whether it is an Indian-led bigger organization, India-based bigger organization, or it is an MNC which is coming into India. I think my core remains in understanding the consumer. My core remains in once you've understood the consumer, what can be the proposition which will fit this consumer, and how can you communicate and then finally end up selling that proposition or that offering to that consumer. I think that core doesn't change irrespective of any organization you work, any region you work for that matter. I mean, if given a chance, if I am not here and working in any other region, the basics will remain same. So I think that was my core, which has remained same. And one thing which I keep telling a lot of people and my team as well, that I kept learning in the entire process. So if I was always only the marketing communications person, I would not have grown as a professional where I can also manage business and run profitable digital business, right? So these are the two things that I always follow.
Right, and I think we have had the privilege of knowing and talking to CMOs. BFS is one of our biggest domains, right? And I think increasingly marketers are making a change where they own revenue, where they own business functions, right? And I think that's where marketing is moving from a cost center to a revenue center. I think that's what's happening, especially every company which is undergoing digital transformation, right? So I think great for you to be leading the from the front there. But let's talk about something which is everywhere, which is new but old as well, which is AI, right? AI in marketing, right? I think I saw HDFC ago using some technology to filter out your traffic that comes onto your website, right? How are you looking at AI shaping up your marketing strategies, right? And in general, in the industry that you operate in, how is Gen AI affecting you on a day-to-day basis?
I think, Rishabh, AI is no more a buzzword, right? You need to now accept that over a period of time you will have to move to AI to make processes and working more efficient for you. We've been doing this not from now, but we've been following this now for a couple of years. Just to give you an example, from a marketing strategy perspective, like you rightly said, we've been using AI not only for filtering out people who are not, filtering out people who probably there are certain bots who've been putting leads. There are certain not so good leads, and we've been using AI to ensure that we get the right customer when we are trying to target that customer. Second, AI has been now extensively used in most of our campaigns. Especially when we do our paid search campaigns, and most of our campaigns are completely based on the learning that we've been able to provide to the model based on whatever we've been doing in the past few years. So that's another piece and we are one of the first ones when it comes to using or being a part of any beta for any large companies who've been doing these kind of campaigns for us, may it be Google, Meta, whosoever we work with. We have always been a part of the first ones to be a part of Meta as well, and then execute these kind of campaigns. In fact, some of these campaigns have been selected as case study. So one of our two-wheeler campaign that we did, it is completely automated campaign that we did. The kind of results that we've been able to achieve there, Google do their global summit where this was the only case study which was selected in the entire APAC region. So that's the kind of work that we've been doing on a marketing side and marketing strategy side. When it comes to an AI, we don't only use when it comes to acquiring customer, targeting customer. That's one use case. We've been using AI for our other use cases as well. So in our business, where motor insurance customers at times needs to do break-in inspection. So you were supposed to renew your car insurance, you could not renew for some reason on time, and hence I need to do an inspection of your vehicle. And we've been using AI when there is any video that is coming in, and we need to use AI to ensure that the inspection has been done well and the policy can be issued, right? Those are the kind of things where we've been using AI now very successfully. And this is one use case. There are many other use cases where we've been using AI. So I think slowly we will have to understand that this is going to make our processes efficient, but we need to invest a lot into this as well, because the model needs to learn. The kind of industry that we are in, If there is one mistake that we have done and a wrong claim being approved because of the AI, then that also becomes a big thing for us. And hence it is very important that we put more and more effort in training this model and making this more efficient. And once that is done, then use it at scale.
Right, and I believe insurance is a thing, is a very basic human, almost a basic human right that probably should be available to all, right? And I think the penetration is still low in India. We have 600 or 700 online users, and I think we're less than 10% of insurance coverage there, right? So that's where a lot of digital first strategies are coming into play, right? Insurance players like yourself, we are focused on digital first dissemination and acquisition of new users, right? So I would love to understand, right, what are the biggest challenges there in building, first of all secure, because security and privacy becomes a very core part of insurance selling, and building an effective digital ecosystem for insurance specifically.
So I'll try and answer, you've asked largely 3 questions in one, so I'll answer one by one.
Right.
First question that you asked, that in a country like ours, penetration for a product like insurance is very less. You're right there. Why so? There are multiple reasons for that. In nutshell, if we were to talk briefly, we can go on and on that. But briefly, if we were to talk, first is accessibility, and you need to make insurance accessible for users to buy it or purchase it, right? So accessibility is one piece where we, along with stakeholders like regulator, government, all the other insurers, everybody is working towards accessibility. How can we make it more accessible? How can we reach to the last mile? How can we go to remotest of the areas and talk about it, right? Once we've reached there, it is also very important to make them aware that why insurance is important. In a country like ours, where, like you said, the penetration is very low, we need to make them aware why this will be important. Why do you need this insurance? When this will come in use, and why it will be very helpful for you. So awareness is another piece which, again, all the stakeholders are working, including us. So I'll talk about certain initiatives that we've done as thought leaders and as one of the leading insurance companies. So for example, we run a insurance awareness quiz. This is the 9th edition that we'll be doing this year. We started it with 18 schools. Today we reach out to 3,300 plus schools. We are through this initiative, we not only we go to students of 8th and 9th standard. There is a reason behind and a thought process why we go to 8th and 9th standard, because they are at a stage where very soon they'll get into a stage where they'll decide what they want to do in the career, they'll get into their jobs. If you're making them aware that insurance is important, probably 4-5 years down the line, when they are getting in their professional career, they will always give importance that insurance should be bought. So these are the kind of truly awareness initiatives that we've been doing. We also did one campaign which is Sabko Karo Insure. One of the reasons, like I said, while awareness and accessibility is issue, there are segments which are not even aware of that they need to, vulnerable segments who are not even, they don't even think about buying an insurance, right? So in the campaign that we did, Sabko Karo Insure, we talked about a Didi, who probably a protagonist who we call Didi, and Didi is somebody who works in everybody's house, right? Somebody is probably cleaning the house, somebody is cooking food for us, and we go and talk to that person as Didi in the house. And we said that why don't, instead of on a Rakhi as a festival, and we all tend to give something to people on a festival, why don't this year you plan and ask her to buy an insurance, guide her how can you buy an insurance, what insurance you should buy. And that's how we said let's go and promote this as Sabko Karo Insure. So for us, it was not really one campaign, Rishabh, it was like a movement that we wanted to do, and we've been driving every year that how can you reach out to multiple, all of these segments, how can you reach out to people when they are young, how can you reach out to a segment of people who really, so we are lead insurers for Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, and we have reached out in all the districts, every place. One, we have our offices. Second, we have done activities, outreach activities, wherein we go to even smaller places. and do some kind of activity or a skit where people understand the importance of insurance. So I think these are the kind of things that we are doing. So I spoke about accessibility. I spoke about how can we then make people aware once they have access to insurance, and post that once you have access in this, affordability comes. That also is very important for a country like us, and hence you need to have multiple segments, multiple insurance products and propositions depending on the customer segment that you're targeting. So I think once you cater to all of these three, I think we'll be able to kind of be a nation where you can have more number of people, penetration can improve, and hence we say this is the best industry to be in, because there is so much to do that we can really reach out to people. On the digital ecosystem also you touched upon, and your third part of the question was that how will digital help in reaching out to people. You're absolutely right. With the way things are moving, with the way now consumers are becoming more and more digital savvy, I think this is the best time to kind of reach out to them with digital solutions. So today when we talk about, while on one side onboarding of consumer to finally any kind of policy servicing or claims is getting more and more digital, and we are amongst the leaders in terms of launching these digital first platforms and services. Also at same point in time, there is a need of creating ecosystem, right? Because insurance becomes very transactional. You buy a policy, probably you come back at the time of renewals, or if there is a claim in your policy, at that point in time you will come and interact with us. And hence there is a requirement of engaging with the consumer, and that is where we feel that an ecosystem needs to be created, digital ecosystem needs to be created, where you can engage with these customers. So all of this, I said a lot of it, but in a nutshell, you need to make it accessible. You need to ensure that you're making people more and more aware, and benefits of the insurance should be told, and you need to make it affordable. And parallelly, you need to work on a digital ecosystem where you can reach out to more and more people digitally.
No, I think thanks for that. Thanks for that. I'm personally very passionate about insurance, as a segment, and I believe one of the highest impact industries that you folks are getting to work in. So I think kudos to you. But you touched upon that Karo Sabko Insure, campaign, right? And as I think most of the outside world thinks of marketing as campaigns. Most of they think that we get to create these films and brand films every day, which isn't the case. We know that, right? But would love to understand when you do something like this, right? And it goes big, it becomes successful, right? First of all, how do you decide, okay, this was good or this was successful, and how do you do an RCA, right? And secondly, what are the metrics that you see, okay, affecting it for is to be called successful internally?
So I think there are multiple things, Rishabh, that we look at as the successful or I can say whether a campaign was successful or not. First and foremost, I think the kind of traction that we got in this campaign from it becoming a kind of a viral, right? So we work with more than 1 lakh advisors, and most of them probably were so excited about this campaign because it was a very touching, emotional campaign where everybody could relate to it, because everybody has a Didi at home. They feel that they want to do something for that Didi, but they're not sure of what do I do, and every year we end up paying probably a half a month's salary or something to her as a bonus when there is a festival or anything. And hence they felt that, okay, if I do this, or if I help her buy a health insurance, it is something that I'm doing for a lifetime. So one, that when you get the kind of response that you get from the ecosystem that you're working in, that gives us a comfort in terms of how successful or good a campaign was. Secondly, obviously there has to have certain tangible things, because this is more kind of a feedback that we get. The kind of coverages that we got for this campaign, not only in the typical marketing media releases, but otherwise as well. This was well picked by the likes of category A newspapers as one of the leading campaigns that was launched on Raksha Bandhan. Then the kind of reach that we could get, probably within a week we could reach out to 2.7 million hits on YouTube. right? So the kind of reach that we obviously could get through social media and otherwise. These are largely our things that we look at. When we do a larger marketing campaign, we obviously also look at the reach that we are able to deliver through the media plans and all as well. But largely, these are the few things that we look at, whether it is successful or not. And like I said, for us, this was not one campaign. This was really the movement that we started at that point in time, which followed up with many other things that we continued doing. The intent of the organization, or we as one of the leading players within the general insurance industry, was to reach out to more and more people, reach out to the segments where not everybody has been going out and talking about, and hence this became a movement for us.
Right. Just a quick follow-up on that. Do you think you can engineer virality? Do you now sit and is there pressure on you that okay, the next campaign I do has to be viral, has to have that kind of reach, has to have that kind of, and can you build something with a certain sense of surety? Okay, I'll make this happen, or this will be viral or something like that.
So I wish, Rishabh, I had one mantra of making something viral. If that was, I would have made everything viral that I'm launching. But I don't think there is any such mantra where you can make one campaign or one ad viral. It is a lot of things that go behind it, and a lot of thinking that goes behind it. And at times you don't even expect that becomes viral. So we've seen so many cases where somebody dancing in a marriage became viral. They never thought that will become viral, right? So I don't think there is any mantra of what can become viral and when it can become viral. I think I always follow the simple rule that the intent behind doing anything needs to be very clear. In any of the initiatives that I spoke about, for example, if I talk about insurance awareness quiz for a second again, the intent is very clear that we want to really create awareness. A lot of times people came and said, why don't we probably use this initiative now that we've reached to a scale, even from a business perspective. We've kept it very separate from business. It is an insurance awareness initiative, and we completely just go and do insurance awareness with a particular segment who will be now entering in a couple of years in their professional life. I think that's the intent. So if your intent is right, some things will become viral, some things will not become viral.
Correct. No, and the intent. When you talk about intent, when you talk about the why, right? That's where the mission, the HDFC mission of insurance for all by 2047, becomes probably even more important, right? And what role does that mission play in your strategy making, in your decision making, right? And how tedious or how tough do you think that entire mission is in itself to achieve by 2047?
So I think this is a mission of regulator, right? That okay. Insurance for all by 2047 is a mission that our regulator and stakeholders have seen. We are a part of it. We are party to it. And yes, it is obviously our mission as well, because we are part of the ecosystem. We are part of one of the leading insurance companies. But at the same point in time, I would say, like I said, you need to work on all the 3 or 4 pillars to ensure that this happens till 2047. We have seen a lot of initiatives now happening, a lot of things that are being done not only at regulators level. They have launched a lot of initiatives which are very forward looking. We've been part of that too. And hence we are very positive that we should be able to achieve this mission of insurance for all by 2047. Like I said, for example, we are lead insurers for 2 states, and anything and everything that needs to be done from accessibility, affordability and awareness is being done there. Likewise, other insurance companies are lead insurers for different states and places, and they manage that part. So all put together. So we launched an insurance week in Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, and all the insurance companies came together, and that insurance week was nothing but we tried reaching out to as many as people and created awareness about our insurance products. So I think the industry is coming together with an objective where the common objective is to reach out. At an industry level, there are so many more things which will be done from awareness, affordability perspective. There are new guidelines which are coming in, which will make making the product and distribution even more better. So all of this put together definitely should lead, and we are very positive about insurance for all by 2047.
Yeah, and I think just add on. I think we work closely with a lot of mutual fund players, right? And I think for mutual fund and investment in general in India, the pivotal point was 2017 when AMFI launched that mutual fund Sahi Hai campaign, right? And I think back then India was adding 600, 700k SIP accounts every month, right? I hope insurance has that moment also very soon, where that kind of hockey stick curve in terms of uptake, in terms of insurance taking, right, comes for you folks as well, right? And it will obviously be better for the overall country. But moving on, I think insurance, one thing that separates insurance from investments is the trust that, okay, I'm giving my money, will it be beneficial for me, right? And a lot of that trust comes from the brand that you build, and being just customer centric, being honest about what insurance actually means for a lot of players, right? So how do you ensure, with more and more AI, with more and more automation coming in, and how do you still have that trust, the human factor in the engagements that you do with your customer?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, insurance is all about being with the consumer at the moment of truth, right? Otherwise, the trust is never built. And I think at least with us, we are very clear as an organization that, and there have been examples, and I can quote those examples. For example, COVID was one of the testing times for us. We had to stand with the consumer at that point in time. At an industry level, claims of 25,000 crores was paid out of it, and we being a significant player, we paid 1,600 crores of claim during COVID, right? And we had to be available, maybe 12 in the night, maybe 1 in the night. No matter how much AI comes and anything comes, but there is a requirement where consumers would want to speak with somebody and ensure that things are moving, right? Because if there is an emergency at 12 and something is not available and they want to speak with the insurance company, we need to be available, right? So that definitely will stay. No AI will replace the human touch. I think AI will replace the processes, will make processes simple. If there is a requirement where a consumer needs to speak with us, we will obviously be available to speak with them, especially at the moment of the truth. And that will continue to be there. We have been a firm believer in terms of being there when consumer actually needs us, which is at the time of the claim. So I don't think AI can, Rishabh, anytime replace that human touch, and that will remain in general insurance as a category. Yes, to an extent, if there are certain things which can be automated and consumer, see, why do consumer reaches to us? They reach to us whether if my claim is not being approved. If if approval is taking longer, then the consumer wants to speak with somebody. If I am able to do that in the time frame that customer expects, then consumer doesn't want to speak with me. So I'm saying I will bring efficiencies in the process. Even after that, if there is anything where a consumer needs to speak with us, we will definitely be available for that.
Got it. And we have been chatting, and I've been hearing about the term here. Can you elaborate what's here at HDFC and what do you mean by that?
Yes. So I'm so glad that you asked this question, and I'm happy that you've heard about here. Here is one insurance-led ecosystem that we have developed, Rishabh. We launched it for everybody in August of 2023, and we are very happy that the kind of traction that we have seen in the last 1 year makes us very excited that we should work on this. The whole thought process why we launched here is that we wanted to gain mind share of the consumer. We want to reach out to the consumers and be a part of their daily lives. Once you've been able to do that, once you've been able to engage with the consumers for the right things on a daily basis, you've been a part of the mind share. And wherever there will be a requirement probably of buying an insurance, they will definitely come to us, and hence from a mind share we will obviously be able to kind of gain some market share as well. But the idea is to kind of gain mind share of the consumer. Now how do you do that, right? So all of us thought of debated on what are the things that we want to do in this ecosystem, and there are largely 5 bigger ecosystems as of now that we're talking about, and we'll continue to develop more and think more about it. So one of the ecosystem that we've created is around auto, which is the vehicles that people drive. Another ecosystem that we have developed is around health. We were very excited with the kind of results, and I'll talk about auto and health more in detail, but then we also thought of doing more ecosystems which are around pet, cyber and travel. Right now, what these ecosystems are. So typically, for example, on health, let me give you 2 examples. You want to get some surgery done of somebody in your family in a particular hospital, and you want to check what will be the cost of that surgery, right? So somebody is undergoing bypass surgery and wants to check what will the cost of bypass surgery in X hospital versus Y hospital. Now, who better than us can tell you, because we've been paying claims from last 22 years. So people just come on our application, they just add what hospital they're looking at, what kind of surgery or procedure they're looking at, and they get through our AI engine, they get to know what is the kind of estimate that they'll have, because obviously some could be complex cases, some could be not so complex cases, and because of that there can be a range that we get. So that's one use case. We said somebody is going through a knee surgery. Now, while we speak with doctors when we are going through a procedure, but we want to speak with somebody who has undergone that procedure. And so if I can connect, we created a patient-to-patient connect there. So it's typically the way you call Uber driver, the numbers will not go, but you connect with somebody else, right? And hence there we said that can we connect them to somebody who's already undergone a knee surgery. And we reached out to all the people who we have paid claim for these kind of procedures, and we have more than 1,000 volunteers who said we'll be more than happy to speak with your consumers. And that is where we created a patient-to-patient connect. On the motor side of the ecosystem, we said most of us forget to renew our PUC, because we renew it, it's kept in the car, and we don't know when is the last date. We created a system, you just come and add a vehicle on the app, and you will get a reminder when your PUC is getting expired, so that you can renew it. You want to know, you have an EV vehicle, more and more people are now moving to EVs. You want to know where can be a charging station. I'm traveling, nearest charging station, you can come and figure out where is the nearest charging station. So we tried answering those things where we can become a value add, we can add certain things as value add. And I mean, we were so excited to launch pet. Even before launching, we just posted a banner on Here app, and we got some 47,000 people who came and pre-registered that they want to be a pet parents, pre-registered who wanted to become a part of this ecosystem. So I think here the philosophy is that we want to create ecosystem where people can come and engage with us, and thankfully our engagement rates have been excellent on this application. And selling is the last thing that we do on this app. Also, slowly, all the post-sales service, claims, servicing needs of a consumer are also now coming on this application. So from a consumer perspective, it not only becomes an engagement app, but it also becomes any kind of servicing needs, anything that you have on your past policies, everything will be available on one app. So that's one piece we are very proud of, and we've got some very good awards from well-known brands as well for this in the last 1 year.
No, I think this is exactly what I mean by digital first strategy, right? How do you understand what a consumer wants and make it seamless for them to do that, without needing to talk or needing to do anything, right? So I think kudos to you on that, right? One last question from a personal lens would be, what has been your biggest challenge, in trying to stay ahead of the digital curve, right? And if you have to probably share some like a couple of wisdom of on how do you lead such a large team while building a P&L and managing a business unit.
So I think I would not say challenge. I'll turn it around and say my learnings. Right, I believe in trying to make it more positive when you're looking at it. But my biggest learnings, I would say, Rishabh, has been around, it's a dynamic world and it's changing very fast, right? So you need to kind of be ahead of the curve in terms of knowing what new technologies, what new solutions are coming in, and especially when you're in the digital era where everybody wants to. Today the expectation of a consumer is that if they are buying a product on any of the e-commerce portal worth of 1 lakh rupees without any assistance, then I should be able to buy and get the same service on any of the other categories like insurance, banking and everywhere as well. So the expectations of consumers are changing, and they are changing at such a fast pace. I mean, initially we used to see this kind of consumer only in metros, and now we've seen that tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities as well have moved on to a digital ecosystem platforms, and their expectations are also changing. They also expect delivery to be done on an immediate basis. So I think it's an ever changing, evolving world, and that is one learning or challenge that we all deal with, that we need to be more agile. We need to, the way we approach things, the way we kind of look at things, it needs to be more, we need to be more agile in that approach. At same point in time, I think the core of the business should not somewhere go out of focus. Our core has always been, like I said, consumers is always at the core for us. What consumer requirements are, if you are able to kind of understand it, if you are able to kind of make a note of that, then your solutions will be always around that, right? So when we launched any of these ecosystem services within here as well, our key was what is the consumer looking for, what is the real pain point of the consumer, and let's try and solve for it in a manner which is very convenient for the consumer. So one of the things that we realized when we were doing research was that people are so anxious and get anxiety about a lot of many things. Where are my challans all over? They will go to 4 different portals if they are going from one part of the country to another part of the country. We said, okay, let's put it all together. You just come and add one vehicle on our application, and we'll pull all the challans in one go, and you will get to see everything in one go. So we made it very convenient for them. One of the things that we figured out when we were talking to the consumers was that they're looking for savings, more and more saving. And we said that all our policy holders probably can come on our app and we can provide them savings as one of the things. So I think it's very important to understand the consumer as well and keep learning as the consumer is also evolving. That's another learning / challenge for us. Also, in the digital world, one thing is very important is the pace at which you are making changes. Days are gone where you will take months to kind of understand what is happening, and then you need to kind of evolve. So the pace at which you kind of implement anything, execute anything is also very important. So I think these are our core learnings. And the core remains that you need to understand the consumer and you need to build a business which is sustainable and not short term.
Lovely. I think as a founder, I think I definitely can use that advice. I think thank you for all the answers. I think this was really, really wonderful. Again, insurance is something that I personally think will have the highest impact as a country, right? And I think you folks are doing some amazing work. To know you better personally also, we have done enough work talk. We have a rapid fire that we want for you to answer, and if you do give us good answers, probably we can have a hamper for you as well.
I've got a hamper as well.
Are you ready? Quickly,
Yes.
We can start?
Yes.
Got it. Cool. If you could have a dinner with one finance icon, dead or alive, who it would be?
Finance icon.
Any icon actually. Any personality that you would want to have dinner with, dead or alive?
No, so I think our founder, Mr. Deepak Parekh, I'm a very big fan of him. I've had chances to have a dinner with him, but not on a one-to-one basis. So if there is a chance that I would want to do that, I would like that.
That is such a beautiful answer. Thank you. The first thing that you will do if you're invisible.
Oh, if I'm invisible, I would want to go and understand what all people do when they're onto the e-commerce portals and digital platforms, and then come and give those learnings so that I can build the best of the
Got it.
e-commerce platform.
If you could have a celebrity to work alongside you, with you in your team, who would that be?
Oh, celebrity needs to be part of our team.
Yes.
I think if in the Indian context I were to see, I don't mind working with, say, Ranveer Singh. And the kind of energy that he brings to the team, I think that will make us become a much more vibrant and better brand.
Lovely. Marketing buzzword you're tired of hearing?
Marketing buzzword I'm tired of hearing is that marketing is a cost center. And I personally don't believe it's a cost center. It always has been, it should always be a profit center.
What's your most used app on your phone?
Most used app on my phone would be the mails that I check, which is Outlook. Other than Outlook, if I need to go, then I use Netflix and the apps that I use for ordering food.
If you could insure one thing in your life that's not traditionally insurable, what would that be?
Traditionally not insured, I really don't know, Rishabh, if there is anything which cannot be insured. Largely everything we insure, but time of all of us, which typically cannot be insured, which is also very important.
Interesting.
But I would want to ensure time of important people.
Cool. Thank you, Somesh. This was really lovely. I think I really love that Deepak Parak answer. I think I would also love to understand how do you build an empire like this, right? Thank you. Great answers. We should definitely get him a hamper, maybe not a coffee.
I'm not very sure how good I was, because in these kind of questions I'm not very good, but it was pleasure speaking with you, Rishabh.
Thank you for taking on time, and I think I learned a lot from this, and the excellent work that you folks are doing, right? I think especially on the grassroots level, right? I think it's very easy to say that have a website, have a brand and everything, but when it comes to actually having impact on the grassroots level, having that 3,300 schools being leading in Tamil Nadu and all of that, I think tremendous work, and I'm cheering from you for that from the silence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.